Hey there. You're listening to the John Candy and Rick Moranis Are the Greatest Actors to Ever Live podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the third episode of our brand new show that we are publishing for your liking. And we are still Andrew-free. This is an Andrew-free podcast. This is an Andrew-free zone. We like it that way, and we've liked it that way, and we're going to keep rolling with what we've got thus far. And so far, Alex has really provided a morale boost for the show. He's kind of been the spirit of the show, and we're just happy to have you, Alex. Thank you for being a guest again, more or less a permanent guest host.
Thanks, Jack, for having me on your show again for the third time, and I'm happy to give my limited opinion.
The one thing I need to address at the beginning of the show, something that you also are not fully aware of, there won't be any legal ramifications because I have a stick it to you moment. If you watched last week's, if you listened to last week's, you'll notice that I was interrupted rudely by a hacker with the alias Ted Binkley, but it's actually Alex's little brother, and he did this Star Wars segment. And I don't know if you know anything about me, but I'm also huge. I'm like a Star Wars fanatic too, and so because I wanted to prove that this guy doesn't know anything more about Star Wars than I do, I went out of my way to fly across the country to San Francisco, California. I went to George Lucas Studios. I took a lot of pictures, which will show up on the screen for you who watch it. And also, hey, I took a video. Let's go ahead and roll that clip. We're doing a new segment. We're going to call it Star Wars on Rogue. Let's play the clip.
Star Wars on Rogue.
Hey guys, it's 5 a.m. San Francisco, Pacific Standard Time. I love this city. Today's a big day. We're going to go see George Lucas house in San Francisco headquarters, and we're going to check out R2-D2 statue, Darth Vader, Rogue Nation, and I'm gonna get a video of the Yoda statue. My guess is that I'll be so in my happy spot that I'll be completely speechless. Kind of like when I was so happy and speechless when Disney bought Star Wars as well. So expecting something similar, but I gotta wait for my new roommate to wake up, my new friend, and we'll get there.
That's it. I don't want to say anything else.
So, I just think maybe I'll do the Star Wars segments from now on, and maybe you can speak to it as well.
Nope.
Well, this is a movie podcast, so why don't we get right into the reviews? Why don't you go ahead and give us, right off the bat, what are you feeling?
Here we go, hitting hard right off the bat. What am I feeling? Is Godzilla versus Kong. It's written in cursive. So 2021 came out this year. It's current, PG-13, hour 53 minutes. The epic next chapter in the cinematic monsterverse pits two of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another. The fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Joe Young, with humanity caught in the balance. Starring Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown Eyes, and Rebecca Hall, and even Kyle Chandler. And we have a sneak peek for you.
Let's get a look at a clip, I guess.
Look, Kong's waking up. There's Godzilla. Look below.
Wow. This movie just came out a week ago on HBO Max. I guess you got an early viewing. Give us the rundown. What did you think?
Well, Bryan Cranston's not in it. Nope. So, I mean, I really like monsters and movies starring monsters. And I think it's a great time for monster movie fans like me. And I don't know if Jack is or not. We'll find out soon, hopefully. And I think I would love to watch this with other monster movie fans. I don't know any, but I would like to watch it with them. And can I just rate it a 10 out of 11 stars of popcorn because Bryan Cranston's not in it. It got docked a star, but still very...
Got a little bug in your throat.
very good.
Yeah, so I actually didn't get to watch this with Alex. I was in San Francisco all week, and I was doing more or less a tour of Hollywood and seeing the Walk of Fame and the stars out there. And I gotta say, I did watch the movie on a plane out to San Francisco, which I loved. And the movie itself to me was a lot of monster for your buck here. It wasn't as heavy on the story as I would have liked. I would have liked to see more story, character-driven plots, but I will say this is not the same Kong that you saw from Tarzan, and he's meaner this time. He's madder this time. As a matter of fact, he's better this time. I'm not going to spoil the movie, but maybe you know who wins by my description of how Kong acted in the movie and was acted by. So for this movie, I love monsters, and I would have appreciated watching it with a monster man like you, but for me, it's going to be a 10 out of 11 stars. For me.
Was that, you mentioned Tarzan, is that with Jack Black?
Tarzan, Jack Black, Vince Vaughn, actually. A couple years ago, they made a live action. Peter Jackson directed it. It was 3 hours. Live action.
Live action.
And it was good. Margot Robbie played the girlfriend of Tarzan as well, and she was great.
Thank you, Margot.
She's one of my favorite up-and-coming actresses. I'd like to see her in some more movies. She's not doing a whole lot anymore, but she's good.
You get your big break, and they give and they take away.
Isn't it the way? And that actually, funny that you would mention that. That kind of rolls into our next movie, which I will review. So that was last week's Walt Disney's Flubber. So this week's is going to be Ghost Town.
Yeah, we don't get a new notebook every week, do we? Not on this
no.
budget.
Ghost Town, which is 2008 by David Koop, which is the director. And we just watched this actually upstairs. And then we came down here and said, let's get right into the review. We don't want to forget any of the details of this movie, starring Ricky Gervais, Tia Leone, and Greg Kinnear, which is actually my second favorite actor in Hollywood, right behind John Candy.
God bless Greg.
A guy dies. Sorry, it's scribbled out. A guy dies in Manhattan, and then a bunch of ghosts tell him Tia Leone is hot over and over until she cries while getting a root canal, which is extremely accurate to the film's plot. And I love this movie. Tia Leone is one of my favorite actresses. If you have not seen her in Family Man, or if you have not seen her in Fun with Dick and Jane, then you are certainly missing out. And Tia Leone is an American classic, and I love her for this movie as well. She's gorgeous and she's appreciative. I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 11 stars for Ghost Town 2008.
Big 9 out of 11.
Actually, I'm gonna retract the 9 out of 11 because it takes place in New York.
So no rating.
I'm gonna give it 9.5 out of 11. Makes it more appropriate.
Bag.
Half star for for Ghost Town 2008.
I love the movie Dick and Jane. I love Nick Cage, and she's in a Nick Cage movie, and Nikki Gervais is really good. So
Yeah,
haven't seen many Nikki movies. Have you?
I saw one in college with you in the Dollar Theater. Remember?
Nope. But this happens.
We saw it. We both didn't like it because it was a very blasphemous movie. It was not good. So
I liked this movie. I'll give it a 10 out of 11 stars.
I liked it too. It was a good pick.
It was funny, and Greg Kinnear's handsome. And Nick Gervais is not.
Well, not a nice thing to say.
But hey, I mentioned while we were watching it that he looks a lot better with a beard. I don't know if he grows a full one in real life, but he grows like a halfy, and it's pretty nice.
I grew a beard because I shaved my face a couple months ago and said, wow, I definitely look better with a beard. So
He's a funny guy.
he's hilarious. And I love the movie, and I'm glad that he is the star of the show, as much as I would prefer it to be Greg Kinnear, because I love Greg Kinnear. I already mentioned he is my second favorite actor.
Well, he was a close second, just star. He was
Yep.
very supportive.
He gives a heck of a emotional performance, though not having that much screen time. Total screen time for Greg Kinnear in that movie is about 7.5 to 8.5 minutes, though he gives the best and strongest performances. Although all three of the stars in this show bring the heat, and that's why the movie got such good reviews from both of us.
Something weird about Tia Leone, though. As much as I really like and I enjoy her performances.
There's something about Tia Leone which says, I don't know why I kind of have a crush on you, but I do. That's my hot take.
All right, moving on. Do we have more stuff to talk about?
Well, I'm not ready to do the next movies because I don't want to come off as braggy, but I flew coast to coast last week, and I had a guest appearance for Guest of Cinema this week, and I gotta say, pretty handsome guy. So without further ado, let's play the clip of this week's Guest of Cinema. Check it out.
Great.
Guests of Cinema.
Hey guys, I'm in front of the Golden Gate Bridge where the movie Vertigo had a scene. That's it.
It's a little known fun fact about the Golden Gate Bridge is that it is actually home to many movies that you and I enjoy on the big screen. I'd say one of them that we forgot to mention would be Four Christmases, starring Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, love Christmas movies, love Vince Vaughn. He's a tall guy. He's quick-witted. Doesn't use a script.
Mm-hmm. Four Christmases or Fred Claus? Which Vince Vaughn Christmas movie are you going with?
Four Christmases for sure. Can you Four Christmases, that's right. Almost forgot. Four Christmases.
I actually would say, for me, it's Fred Claus. And the reason I say Fred Claus is because it's the brother versus brother rivalry. You might not understand it because your brother's 10 years older than you. I got a bunch of brothers right in the same age range as me. 1 year. 2 years younger.
That sounds good.
5 years younger. Fred Claus from me. I can relate.
You're all twins?
No, just the 1 year.
Sure.
So, kind of going back and forth a little bit. When I brought Alex in here, I gave him 51% of the company to get him to join. So he has creative control. He's actually been calling the shots on segments that we do. And one of the ones that he pitched to me this week, and I can't say no because I only have 49%, is something about reels.
This is my house.
This is your house, so we're actually in your house too.
So Jack brought me into my house. So
We have to do the real movies segment now, where he talks about music and movies. If you actually could see around this room, there's a banjo on the wall, and there's a guitar, and there's a miniature guitar, drum set, recording booth. So talk about real music. Let's cut to the real music. Whatever you post people do. Okay, Alex, talk about music and movies or whatever you want to talk about.
This is called Real Music, and the clip has been rolled, so now we're going to talk about it. And what we have in mind for this segment is Jack's favorite band called the Beatles. There's a movie with a lot of Beatles songs called Across the Universe.
Off the top of your head, do you know the main actor's name?
Brendan Fraser. No, I do know him though. He's
It's
a
Jim
British
something.
guy, Jim Sturgis.
Jim Sturgis. And actually, it's funny that you said
I didn't want that to be the movie.
Brendan Fraser, because we did a show actually a while ago with Andrew, which the show sucked, the episode sucked, but it had a funny name. It was Mummy Want a Reboot. This was about the Tom Cruise Mummy reboot, which was a phenomenal movie. Jake Johnson's hilarious in it.
I'd love a poster with Brendan Fraser and Tom Cruise on it.
They ever make a movie together? Trivia for you
Life
guys.
size. Which would be huge because I think Brandon might have gained a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm, he did. Yep, Brendan Fraser. He's kind of massive right now. But he looks good. It doesn't mean you can't look good. He's just not the same. It's not the Mummy one that we're used to. What year was Mummy? 99?
The original?
Mm-hmm.
That's your department.
I know it is. But I haven't seen the Mummy since I saw it on TV in 2004. So
Love 2004.
you do.
Hello.
So actually, based on his Across the Universe segment, which is going to be popular with the fans, we know that you guys are always writing in about music stuff.
Hi, Mom.
I'm not a music guy myself. I personally when I think of real movies, I think, real, fishing reel. And so for me, I'm going to rank my top 2 fishing movies. Number 1, The Perfect Storm, the year 2000. We got a young Mark Wahlberg married to Diane Lane. They're very much in love, and I love a love story, but I also love George Clooney. And this is right after he did Batman and Robin, the 1997 Joel Schumacher classic. Because I love both those movies, I love The Perfect Storm, and also let me throw in Gone Fishing, starring Joe Pesci and Danny Glover, the famous 1997 comedy, bringing buddy comedy back in a whole new way. It's a coming-of-age story. It's a fishing movie. Best of both worlds. Gone Fishing. Highly recommend. Got to throw in a free review here. I'm going to give Gone Fishing 6 out of 11.
I've never seen that movie, but The Longest Storm is good.
Yes, it is. And you watched it with me recently, and you liked it.
Oh, Clooney had 3 years to grow a half beard, and he did a good job.
And
From Batman Forever to The Perfect Storm, and thanks, George,
accurate timeline, too.
for looking rugged.
George Clooney also voted most handsome man in Hollywood, which was a segment that Alex wanted to do, but
God.
it was weird, so we turned it off.
We didn't do it. Not doing it.
Well, guys, due to our really improved budget, because we've been getting a lot more viewers, so thank you for that. Unfortunately, you're not subscribing, because I still have about 8 subscribers to the channel, which was what I had after about the first hour. of the first post, but we did make some money, and we were able to reinvest into the show. So now we're going to play the new segment. People have been buzzing about what's the new segment going to be. We, in the comments, if you go to any of our YouTube videos, you can just plumb through the comments over and over. New segment ideas. What's the new segment going to be? Speculation. Here it is. It's Alex's idea. He's the genius here. It's called Nice to Seeing You. Let's play a scene with my face on another actor's body in a movie, and then we'll play another scene with Alex's face. I picked the scene for Alex. He picked the scene for me. I think we're all going to enjoy this together. Let's take a view.
Nice to see you.
I finally understand sledding. That didn't hurt.
That's fine.
Are we back?
Wow, it really is nice to seeing you, though.
Truly. You too.
So I guess that'll be a segment going forward.
You want to talk about him?
Well, I don't really appreciate being put in Snow Dogs, a movie that can't really get any better. You pretty much just made the whole thing worse by putting me in Snow Dogs. He's a legend. Well, play the clip of Walking in the Park.
Hello, children. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin.
For the Walk in the Park segment, we here see Chris Walken in the park, or outside at least, and I believe this is right after his, what is this, like 69th birthday party, and he was just pissed off that his wife threw him a party, so he was just thinking about, is it all worth it? And then he went back inside, and so that's when the picture was snapped, and that was 3 years ago.
Party.
And this has been a walk in the park.
Alex approached me about Christopher Walken jargon being more involved in the show, and I immediately said yes. Ever since I saw Christopher Walken in Mr. Joe Dirt, I had my eyes set on Walking in the Park segment. You're the one who brought it to life. You're the one who thought of the name with the pun, and the greatest movie ever made besides any John Candy movie would be 2003's The Rundown, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Seann William Scott, and Christopher Walken. So we're going to actually play the trailer right now as we talk about this movie, because it is one of my favorite movies and one of Alex's favorite movies. You guys are going to get a free review. And this is part of the Walking in the Park segment because we love Chris Walken so much.
Hello, children. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin.
So what's your honest score of The Rundown 2003?
Going straight into the honest scores section of the segment, free review for Rundown. Okay. I will give 2003 The Rundown, starring Chris Walken, Dwayne Johnson, Seann William Scott, an 11 out of 11 bags of popcorn.
Wow.
Because I love this movie, and it's action-packed, super interesting, keeps you on the edge of your seat, and there's a guy with bull whips that's really interesting, and The Rock is one of those characters that doesn't use guns and is like, can beat everyone still. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this. They missed the mark by taking 2003 The Rock in The Rundown, going right to 2004, which is your favorite year of movies ever, doing Walking Tall and not doing Walkin' Tall with Chris Walken.
True.
And they missed the mark there. Gonna circle back here to The Rock, talking about The Rock. I forget where I was going.
I love this movie. Sean William Scott, he's in his prime. He's way better than American Pie. He's actually, like, a very, very good supporting role.
Sean William Scott's two best movies right off the cusp. We're talking The Rundown 2003, and we're talking The Goon.
Ah, The Goon.
We're gonna talk the
Liev Schreiber.
Can I go ahead and insert one of Jack's fun movie facts into The Rundown? What are the guys with the bull whips that you're talking about with the fighting?
Should have been Liev Schreiber.
Should have been Liev Schreiber.
Looks like a tall guy to me.
But we're also thinking about the fighters in the jungle. Ernie Reyes Jr. is one of the fighters, famously known as the Pizza Boy and Kung Fu Master in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, the 1991 family fun adventure. It's one of my most watched movies of all time. I love Super Shredder, played by WCW superstar Kevin Nash. I love this movie. Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, coveted 10 out of 11.
Never heard of it.
We'll just skip that one. We can edit the part where he said that out so that it looks like we both know.
Is it live action?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The Turtles are Jim Henson Muppets. Do you want to read your next movie?
We're back and we're gonna read another movie.
You go, because I like the way that that one played out. I saw that movie as well.
Here's another movie review for you and yours called Taxi Driver from 1976, starring Rob De Niro, directed by Martin Scorsese. And so Robert De Niro plays a mentally unstable veteran that is trying to get his driver's license to become the taxi driver. The movie takes a strange turn, pun intended, when he taxis around Iris, Jodie Foster, and he lets her take the wheel. This cult classic has laughs and music for the whole entire family, and it's rated R. And it actually could fall into our real music segment, so maybe I'll put that in as a bonus clip in a couple weeks. What do you think?
So, you and I
1976.
talked about Taxi Driver. This is a weird time in history for you and I, because we're both Beatles nuts. And we all know what happened around that time of with the Beatles breaking up.
In 76, sure.
Around then. And we all know that Paul McCartney died in a car accident. He switched his hand to a left-handed guitarist. And there's a documentary on it. And this is awkward for us because it's like, do we watch a movie and enjoy it in 1976, or do we lament the Beatles breaking up? And for me, I was too focused on the Beatles breaking up that I don't really care too much about Taxi Driver. So I'm going to give Taxi Driver a 4 out of 11. I think Robert De Niro is the most overrated actor ever. His only good movie is Analyze That, which is the only rated R movie I've ever seen. And that is why I do not like Taxi Driver. What about you?
I also hated Taxi Driver, but not for the same reasons.
Right.
I agree with like the timing of it coming out. It was like the edgy thing to be. I don't know. It was so weird. Such a weird movie. The whole like inner monologue thing with the jazz, or I don't even know what kind of music it was.
And you
really
don't like
didn't
jazz.
help me getting over the Beatles breaking up. So. Not into jazz, not into the Beatles stopping music or dying, and very overrated. I feel like everyone loves this movie, but I feel like nobody's seen it actually.
Yeah.
If you actually saw it, you would fully agree with us, which is probably true for everything.
Yep. Yes. Alex hit the nail on the head, and the hammer is down.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 11 bags of popcorn.
Excellent rating. Robert De Niro, he does shine in this role.
He's got nice stubble.
Heck of a role for him. I'll say the best movies that came out around that time, Godfather.
Jodie Foster looks like she's like 12. Maybe she's more than that, but...
If you want to put Jodie Foster in your movie, put her in Elysium. That's what I would have to say about that.
Or Silence of the Lambs.
I don't like that movie. It's
Me gusta.
a lot of perverts in that movie.
I'm into it.
Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill Wild Sauce. That guy's a weirdo. I hated that movie. I did not sleep afterwards. Which brings me to my next review. 2002 had a Walk to Remember. Was his Aiden Sharkman is the director. Adam Shark. I know who it is. I'm playing. Mandy Moore, Daryl Hannah. No. Mandy Moore, Daryl Hannah. Friends out for a Sunday stroll. Get amnesia. What they don't know is where they are going. I love this movie. Mandy Moore is the voice of our generation. And we grew up in a time where it was okay to take a walk, you could be safe, and now you can't. And unfortunately, in this movie, they get sidetracked. They forget where the heck they're going. And it turns pretty grim pretty fast. It is only rated PG, so you don't see what happens. But basically, they get mauled. Eight out of 11 for me.
They get mauled?
Mauled.
They end up at the mall.
Mauled, M-A-L-L-E-D, mauled. They get mauled.
Gotcha.
Sorry, not killed. They don't get killed. It's rated PG. But they get mauled. And they forget where they were going in the first place. It's one of those chick flicks, spend it if you got it, kind of like mother-daughter. Daryl Hannah's her mom. So, what do you think?
I love a good mall movie. Mallrats.
Mallrats.
You know,
comedy. Oh, here's another one. Jingle All the Way. Think about malls.
Paul Blart Mall
Paul
Cop.
Blart Mall Cop. 1 and 2.
What's the Jay and Silent Bob?
Clerks?
Yep.
Excuse me, I have to go number 2.
Two hours later.
Look at that, it's 11 o'clock. You have work, I've got work. This might actually be a good rollout. Guys, we love you. Thanks for watching the show. Stay tuned. We'll be more prepared. Next, we'll probably just record it in a couple of days or something. We'll just do another one.
Sure, we do shorter episodes. We'll do more episodes.
That's fine. I love the show. Got a lot of segments, so I got a lot of...
Do you subscribe? I subscribe. We subscribe.
I can't subscribe.
Me either.
It's my channel.
It's my channel.
You have a channel. No. Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, it's called John Candy and John Voight are the best actors to ever live podcast.
I was going to do the official announcement of if the Ron Perlman was going to actually happen, and because the legal stuff, but it seems like you just changed it to John Voight right on the spot. Is that what happened?
Nature chooses. You know what I mean?
And God wins.
2003 Holes. 2004 National Treasure. 1997 Anaconda.
Ice Cube's in that.
Have a good night.
God bless.